the little different angles that you can get caught up in. So Raze is definitely a dangerous one. So it'll be fun to watch Thief play Raze over on this map and just see what can be done. And we're speaking of the Raze utility that we could be seeing, and it's going to be a boom bot for the first point of contact. Start trying to be clearing out Hookah. Neon making a little trip through the teleporter to try and get a nice little angle on somebody pushing up through that section, but it's going to be cut off with that wall. And with that already being an A player dedicated back towards B, Pioneer's going to be making a dash out towards A as the wall comes up, the cloud comes up, and they're going to try and get this plant down and get ready for post-plant.
The plant is not coming in just yet. It's going to be Gucci playing towards the area of showers, not really knowing it if your JC Stacy does get taken down, despite though finally he does get planted, but the numbers advantage for this post are going to be there for Akrew.
They have a numbers advantage, but definitely not an advantage in terms of how so many people are so low, and that is starting to really be realized here. Is already things are going to be evened up. Not too much health still around, and that's going to be finding it in a tough position. The trades come out, everyone falls down, and it's only going to be critical on top to secure Pioneers their 5th pistol round of the day altogether.
What a good way to show the dominance, just winning those pistol rounds and can give you everything for the entire map. It's just a way that you started, and even if with a couple buys that we've seen here and there in the second round by the enemy, nothing has stopped the aggression that Pioneers is able to take. And we talked about it. This is a team that just came and just got away with a victory from another tournament. So it is really showing the high level that they have playing together and getting that information more than anything, while this Viper will be playing really close to be spotted.
Wasn't caught out whatsoever. I don't know how Khan was able to just hide there and not have the boom detect them, but it's going to be showing out so well as Thief is instantly taken out with the shorty, and that is definitely a great way to be taking your lead over in around where everybody else has specters, and that's just what the shorty can do on this map. But the shorty can't really be fighting back when the rest of Pioneers pushes out onto site, specters in hand. 2 is all that Akrew is going to be able to take down as Pioneers puts 2 on the board.
This is semifinals, and Pioneers already getting away with a couple rounds, and the question is how much more are they able to get. It is looking similar to the last map, where on their 3rd round, they were already forcing a couple of those rivals, a couple of those phantoms that we see being bought by Thief and JC Stanny. And they were able to get away with it before. They were able to get away with it on the quarterfinals. And looking towards the semifinals, this Duelist and this Astra is also trying to do a little bit of the same against Akrew.
And it looks like A is going to be an absolute disaster zone. There's already the utility posted up over there. There's the wall, but it's going to be Neon holding that up high angle to get the opening pick and start setting, you know, the momentum going into this round as the rest of Pioneers starts getting out. Owl Drone through the teleporter is not going to be catching out Thief, who's starting to make a push up through Hookah.
And there's no one going to be Hookah. There's only a couple of those utilities. Like we see the wall from the Viper that can come up at any time. But for now, the 2 duelists playing towards Hookah, having that high ground positioning just for a little bit, will get denied addition. Oh, they will be taken down. Canopy, it's there, ready to get the kills. Even know that someone's going to be the teleporter. And even with the Spectre, there's not much that you can hope for.
Critical just barely getting away with his life at that point. Sky just absolutely dominant. Any push out onto E-site just completely denied, and now Akrew still 5 tall, just running around looking for this last body. They know that he's in there, but waiting to see if he's going to be daring enough to pop out.
This is going to be avoiding it a little bit. It's going to get closer and closer to the middle. Actually, it's able to stay in those corners, wanting to get the pick, trying to get it towards the end. And it's just what you gotta do, right? You got a Spectre, your team is still trying to recover the economy. At that point, just better get taken down because the enemy on the other side was absolutely hungry to get that kill. And then look, it's a good start for both of the teams. Akrew being able to get away with that one, being able to not only keep those rifles and those phantoms that we see them having, but also shutting down the 2 rifles that we saw available for Pioneers before. And that is forcing JZ Sandy and Thief into kind of an eco. So the balance for this team of Pioneers is not as even as we've seen before.
Definitely not. But to start this one off, it's going to be a little bit of a shower present coming out from Akrew. 2 already pushing through the Nebula, going to be hiding the shenanigans of what they're up to. Is 2 standing outside from Pioneers, waiting, debating if they should be pushing this. Leon's just on the other side, and as the peak comes up, JMO goes down and caught in the gravitational well. Critical is going to fall shortly after, but that was a lot of ground the Neon made over in showers, but Weeda's just going to be firing back, and those kills are going to be enough to drop this Viper's Pit and secure this site.
The Viper's Pit coming in, denying a lot of space even for this attacking team to get, for this defensive team to get anything done. As we see now, pushing towards showers and making sure that no one is there, but had to look the other way because Jesus Tanny was there ready to get the kill, even able to get away with the Vandal. We didn't see the player having towards the beginning.
Kills enough to get this Seeker's call out where the last member of Pioneers is. Less than 30 seconds left now in a 2v1 scenario, and honestly, hinged a little bit. No angle is safe. Trying to just peek one person, gonna be shot in the back. And Ricky, fantastic 3 kills to be taking that round, and Akrew gonna be tying this one up.
A 2-2 so far, so it is going to be tied up between Pioneers and Akrew trying to get to the grand finals, and this is the start, the semi-finals. Guarantee who's going to be on top, and it all starts as we see on Bind, forcing the set of Pioneers into a safe round. Not a lot to work with, but those sheriffs hoping to get some kills early on, and especially the Warriors beat short as we see them pushing.
Sheriff rounds can be scary, though, especially in the hand of some of these players. Neon's holding the close angle, but going to be forced back. The Owl drone comes out, but Becky is holding a close one here, just waiting, and that's going to be playing so well. Little bit of a trailblazer around the corner. It's not going to matter, though. AC Stanley being able to grab a kill, and despite the fact that Calm's able to, you know, get 2, it's going to actually be Fierce to be evening this out. 2v2 situation.
Is a 2v2 and everyone full HP to work with, but of course it might be that rotation that is going to be crucial for the set of Pioneers. We'll be trying to get the plant done as soon as possible with the Cosmic Devi working out for the post plant scenario, or at least trying to for the post plant scenarios in Astra versus Astra. And a couple of differences that can be made by Pancakes on the other side, just spraying through the box. He's able to get that pick, but they can't hear if it's getting defused or not.
But who could hear was Pancakes on the right side of the wall, the same one as we did. Just has to be holding that angle down, and that's going to be another round in the books for Akrew. But that was a fantastic round all around, bringing it right to a 2v2 on a Sheriff round nonetheless.
And it's a good one just to affect the economy from the enemy a little bit more, but besides that, I mean, it can become difficult to get anything going on these early rounds, especially in Bind, where, of course, we know there's not as many angles to go in from, there's not as many corridors, there's no mid, per se, so it gets a lot more difficult. You're relying a lot on the TP to get the advantage. As we see Akrew taking a little bit off, and even having a showstopper to work with, or depending on if they're able to get the orb or not for the set of Pioneers.
That could be a lot of momentum if that ult could be gained in this round, but I don't know if the ult points are locked up. We'll have to see. The one in showers is certainly very locked up, though. Neon gonna be playing this close again, and is not gonna be caught out this time around the corner. The Aldrin will be taken out, so Neon can stay in this corner undetected. The cloud burst comes out. It doesn't look like they want to be pushing this, so they're at least not gonna be having to face down with the ult today, but not too much ground has been gained elsewhere.
Is going back to their positionings for this attacking team, trying to get some information, realizing that maybe A It's not going to be working for them, and B might be the better one to push from Hookah especially. And I was looking at the showstopper potential there, but it seems like it's not going to be possible until it's a kill very early on for this race is going to happen.
The same little pit and spit outside of Hookah, but this time Kanpeki has to be backing up before any kills can quite be realized off of that. The Blade Storms pop. Neon tries to updraft to get that angle, but it's not going to be enough. There is still 4 for the retake, and there will be Cosmic Divide to try and make this a little bit easier. And, you know, might not have been able to get the ult orb. The kill would be enough, but unable to connect means he's going to go down. And now it's a 3v2. The last 2. They do have control of the site, but that's gonna be about it. As pushed up from Garden, gonna be taking them down, and yet again there's a tied games on our hands.
It is denying all of that control that can go from A to B and back and forth, and pushing us to a 3-3 that we see right now between the two teams, and struggling to get anything going, right? And we still see both of the teams getting affected by their decision making into that economy early on, where a couple of them are going to be able to buy, a couple of them are going to be affected, and that goes both for Pioneers and Akrew. So it is those who have the rifles, the ones that are relying a little bit more, and of course the Blaze Storm on the other side now coming up online.
Ooh, there's gonna be the Viper's Pit as well over on B, just outside of Hookah, trying to be locking this site down. Make sure that, you know, Pioneers stay clear of it, but as 2 are locked up in Hookah and 2 pushing towards long, it looks like they might just want to try and play right into this. And a spray through is going to be doing some damage, and utility is definitely a way to be pushing people out, and that Hunter's Fury is going to do just that. Look at that. Kanpeki goes down, and a push through with Calm going down is going to get rid of this Viper's Pit, and is going to leave B site in Pioneer's hands.
More Viper's Pit in a perfect position for J-Mod to try to get another kill with this Blade Storm. Or try to get in 1 kill. Just 3 trying to deny the plant. We'll be creating a little bit of space here while everyone is playing careful, but not really looking exactly what the Cyber Pioneers are going to be holding. So the plant, even if it's a little later than they expected, will be coming through. And still with a numbers advantage for this attacking team.
A little flank up through B long. Gonna be called out. But so will Thief, as that recon bolt is gonna allow Pancakes to take the advantage in that fight. Put this into an even 3v3. Just be these angles held. And Neon's already managing to push out onto site just a little bit. And Akrew's fighting back. A shock dart. Not gonna be enough. The spike is halfway now. The 2 kills. It's going to be stuck, though. Critical, despite going on a tear. It's not going to be quite enough. And Pancakes is going to be the Sova coming out on top in this situation with the defuse and the last kill.
The Hunter's Fury that we saw there as well was crucial. That information that can be gained. But this time around for Akrew, it was just lacking a little bit more. Even if the plan for Pioneers came in, it just seems like being able to connect the kills was where it was lacking. And we've seen a lot of mistakes that I want to see even with the ultimates. The first Hunter's Fury that we saw a couple rounds ago, not really working out. The showstopper, using it a little too early, almost denying a potential kill that was about to happen. So with that, Akrew to get another one. And again, they were already the champions on week 6. He can do it again.
Wow, that push up from Neon, just to be holding that aggressive angle was so nice. And that's just really paving the way for this round. But Trade's coming out. Weeded is not gonna let his teammates go down in vain. Getting not only 3 kills, but enough to be going for the Viper's Put. Allow them to start pushing out onto site. There's going to be the 2 from Akrew already there, though. And a Shorty and Lamps will put Beef down. This is an even 2v2.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a 2v2 where anything can happen. That information is going to get denied. A shock dart as well, trying to get some damage done, but it's harder said than done. 5 HP for critical to work with. Want to get taken now and shot through the boxes. The Viper's Pit might be effective enough.
This has to be time at this point. Sure, you can't be playing outside of the Viper's Pit for too long,
Ooh.
but you can be playing outside of it just long enough. And an ace is what Weeded's going to be pulling out to secure this round. What an absolutely well played round and such a pop off.
What an amazing performance from We did on the Viper. This is the first time that we see this player using the Viper, and it's really showing up. I mean, 14 kills already. No one else is comparing to the performance that this Viper is able to do. The Viper spit also coming in just when the team needed to, and getting those kills one by one, backing up, knowing that it was all about playing for the time. And it worked out exactly the way Pioneers wanted it to. Continuing to have us look very, very even on this one.
That one maybe could have gone better for Pioneers, but a trade is what they're going to be having to take. There's Akrew starts being put a little pushy through that A short, but a flank not going to go too well for them either. Is now Pioneers to tie this up to start trying to be pushing out onto site. They know that there's a couple of angles. They know that there's some flanks happening, but they're watching them. They're not going to let Crew pull anything too crazy out of their pocket. Maybe they'll start to do something crazy and just make a mad dash over to B.
Everyone using that TP, putting things a lot harder. But this 2v2, there's not a lot of HP for most of the engines that we see right now. Pioneers is racing very low, but it is still nonetheless two duelists to work with. And that can do everything. It's about what the Sova from Akrew has left, what Pancakes is going to be having for that information game before being able to get the kills.
Everybody is so low. It's just going to be one shot to change things up. And with that, Thief already so low, going to go down. A tap on the spike is going to be baiting JMO out on top of that. With that, Akrew taking the lead.
Again, and they continue to take the lead and then continue to go even again and get it and go even. It's just going back and forth every single time. Again, Akrew, they played this map multiple times yesterday. So at this point, they are more than ready to bring new things to it and make sure that they're going to come out on top. But still, not very clear. Cosmic Divide might make a difference here, guaranteeing the first time, or one of the first times actually, that we see Akrew getting ahead by more than one. Says the first very early rounds that we saw from them.
They might even be able to do it just off of sheer gunplay at this point, because Pioneer's not looking so great on the buys this time around. And with those broken buys slash, sheriffs in hand, going to look towards B, try and catch somebody off hand. But a wall up and a push through from Danny going to go down. But look at that! We're hopping around with the snake bite to at least try and even this up a little bit. And despite being on Sheriff, Pioneer's doing a fantastic job of fighting back as they're able to take control safe, but they don't have bomb in hand.
Oh, and I want to see what can be done here is going to be critical. Getting taken down early and making it another one that is 3 kills for this guy. You know exactly where it's going to be. The Trailblazer working out perfectly against Gamo. And nothing else can be done. You're stunned. You can barely shoot. You can barely see anything that is going on. And as expected, Akrew finally able to get ahead by more than one round. And potentially getting another one here.
Yeah, it was a fantastic round. I mean, Pioneers had their work cut out for them on Sheriffs. But that was a fantastic job of trying to even it up. And it's just like a key difference at that point to be able to secure the round. But that's not all. You don't want to go even in half. You want to go positive. And they have 2 more rounds to do that in. But their defensive hold has been pretty good so far. And the fact that it's been so strong on B, it's going to force Pioneers to look towards A this time around. A little push through. Critical is going to get past the gravitational well. And that is going to fare him so well in getting a pick. And Owl Drone will try and get a little bit of more information.
I'm not sure if they know someone's going to be playing Lamps, but the Hunter Sphere will be coming in. Actually does spot one of the players. They're running away, but he cannot do so much. Cannot run fast enough. Hunter Sphere on the other side. Still trying to get something going. It's looking still pretty even, though. Only one pick that can make a difference here. Oh, that was so close.
Right there. Rita goes and chases. Calm down, though. No chance. You're not going to get away from me that easily here. And with that, it's now going to be a little bit of a push back towards A. Pioneers take the advantage going into this. Neon does have the Blade Storm in hand, though. So it could be a little bit of a mad dash to start getting some momentum, but these two players, they're so split up.
Very split up as we see here, but Neon will be taken down, and with that 1v3, definitely possible for Pancakes, but gotta take those duels one by one. And with this positioning, the side of Pioneers is taken in, might be making things a lot harder than he thinks. Yep. Immediately deny that information, that shock dart, and the Thief just looking straight at his face. And he's only one more can be going for the set of Pioneers, making us go into a 6-6, even though the economy is still kind of not really there.
You just need enough. You just need enough to get you by this next round before the half. But Pioneers have been doing a fantastic job just in this game to just be, not letting their crew get any sort of momentum, not letting them get too comfortable in this match. Though, Akrew trying to get settled in a little bit more. It's going to be... I can't even say the words. The Viper's Pit comes out and Thief chases Calm down. Showstopper to put an end to that. And with that, that is a huge defensive hold on A site. Already gone. And they can just storm the site, start getting set up, paint shells around the corner, make sure nobody can push on through. And Pioneers, they're looking in great shape to be tying this up, especially as any push through onto site not going too great.
The numbers advantage has been making such a difference in the post every single round. The Cosmic Divide will be coming through, denying an easy push from Showers. Asha, very close, watching the angle, making sure that no one's going to easily go in, or before at least taking a little bit of damage to DPS. Trying to connect, but there it is, a denial immediately to a 1v3 where nothing else can be done for this Astra. Akrew trying, but nonetheless it's going to be the same exact scenario that we saw for Pioneers on the last match, where it was a 66 on the first map.
Yeah, and that was such a good round. Just the showstopper into the Viper's Pit. You know roughly where that Viper is. You know where Calm is, and that was so great. The wall was really nice too, but at that point, the numbers advantage. You can be trading them out, playing in and out that wall, but you're going to be coming out on top. And that's just what Pioneers needed to keep them tied in this. And it'll be interesting, going into the pistol round. Pioneers has won every single one of them.
The question is, can they get it again for this set of Pioneers? Like you said, today, every single pistol round going their way. Of course, looking forward to keeping that going, but that information is going to get denied. The Viper walls, of course, coming online and active. Well, everyone, in the meantime, for the set of Akrew, want to play for that drone, trying to figure out exactly where the aim is going to be, and the plan might be coming in pretty comfortable.
Everybody playing a little more, spread out, or even just going for these long flanks. There's one through short. There's one all the way through spawn, but they're not going to be successful whatsoever. It looks like Pioneer's perfect pistol streak today might just come to an end. It's going to be weeded in a 4v1 situation. He has gotten an ace this game, so nothing is impossible. We'll work around with, but it is going to be a tall ask, and at this point, it's not even going to be enough time.
Even someone coming behind Weeded is going to take this player down, pushing us to a 7-6. And I know you mentioned those pistol rounds going for the set of Pioneers every single round today, but this time around, it is Akrew who is able to get away with a victory on that first pistol round, which is going to be crucial, of course, going to a transition round with the Spectres, and even on the Ares. That should be a good one for this attacking team.
Oh, definitely. And I mean, the shorties can, sometimes catch somebody by surprise here, but if they're not going to be playing these close angles nonetheless. Recon Bolt to try and get a little bit of information. Not going to be too beneficial, and at this point, Akrew just looks to be playing back. Wait for Pioneers to potentially push up into them.
Want to see what they can do here, though, as the information is trying to get in on this attacking side. The spike is on the floor. It is not moving. Everyone trying to play for that either information or picks, whatever is going to come first. And the Trailblazer is going to reveal. They know what's going to be in that hookah area. I know it's going to be that close. That means it's going to be all the way in backup side for this defensive team of Pioneers. And the collateral, actually, for Jimon, that was massive. Good way to start it off for Akrew. Wow.
A good way? That was something else. My jaw just dropped there. That was fantastic, collad. And this point, 40 seconds left. The spike is going to be picked up. It's going to start going towards B. But look, there's one on site. Try and catch someone offhand. But there's also,
30 seconds left.
a little pack of wolves, arrows in hand, making a slow flank. And Neon's only able to get one before being traded back out.
A little bit more that is going to be needed, though, and unfortunately for the Sky, she cannot heal herself. So it's gonna be all about backing up, keeping whatever you can, as the Soba is going to put a little bit more effort into it, trying to get the picks one by one. Almost looked away for a second. This is perfect. It's going to either be the guiding light coming in, almost connecting, flashing for a couple of seconds, and actually making it work for Pancakes. That was beautifully played by the attacking team. The Sky barely any HP remaining, and yet still being able to use those abilities, to use that guiding light to support the Soba who had just gotten two.
Wow, that crossfire was so strong. But that was, I gotta give a hand to Pioneers on that one, because that was a cheeky little way to put yourself ahead in the round, and it looked a little dicey for the last two members of Akrew there for half a second. But now that round's done and they got their 2-point lead on the board, it's time for Pioneers to try and take a little bit of that back. They do get the buys this time around. They get to use, they get to use the cool weapons, but right out of the way, right out of the gate, they're going to be in that to fruition, getting that opening pick to start things off over and beyond.
An ATC that can turn around very quickly. That is exactly what Pioneers is expecting to do on this defensive side. That information is making 3 of the members be on that B side, and the race playing all the way back. The utility is going to be crucial here, while the spike continues to be on the floor. Is about to get picked up by the Soba for the side of Akrew. And the rotation for the last members remaining, that is going to be 4 of them, will be going towards A.
Just outside of showers, but Sandy has the angle. It's just whether it can make something happen with that angle before being caught out, but I don't think the Owl drone is able to catch him out at all. The wall goes up. Gonna be backing out as the recon bolt comes out, but only 30 seconds for Akrew to start making a push out onto site. Gonna go for that plant, but everybody's here to already start pushing everybody back. Couple trapped over in lamps. They could get pushed here, but it's going to be Akrew coming out on top. Already, it's only critical in a 4v1 situation, and everybody staring him down at this point.
Everyone looking down at the last player remaining, giving Akrew 9 rounds already. And ideally getting to the double digits for this team, forcing Pioneers into a save round, forcing Pioneers to save as much as they can for whatever can come next. It's very much doable for them still. They are not looking as good as we saw them on the last match. They are definitely making a little bit more mistakes when it comes to even those rotations for the defense. They're losing members early on, and Akrew is just taking advantage of that every single time, even for forcing the post planting area.
That was a dangerous orb grab over in B long, but at least being able to get away with the life. At this point, Pioneers just being a little aggressive on the defense. Be taking some kills. Critical pushing up a little too far, though. Not going to be working out. But JMO is hiding around the corner, just waiting for someone to push up a little further. Bladestorm in hand. But the spike, it looks like everyone's going to rotate back out towards A.
It's not the first time that we see this for Akrew. The rotation towards A has worked out a couple times. The question is, can they make it work again? Especially with a Bladestorm that is going to connect immediately. A pick towards Pancakes, where nothing else can be done. The numbers advantage, looking forward to benefit the side of the defensive team who has been highlighting themselves a little bit more in this one, and I mentioned it can be really hard. They were on a save, hoping to get something around, and it seems to be working at least for now.
Yeah, as there's only 30 seconds left, though. It's time to start making a move. And us two members of Akrew going to be trying to get a plant down over on A. There's already two, though, from Pioneers hiding here. Over in Showers is a long flank around, and the last remaining member going to have to come out. Raid's come out, but Neon's going to be able to find both of the last two kills. And now it's only one against the world. I mean, it is JMO. There is a Blade Storm in hand. This is a very possible 2v1 situation, and both members are going to be holed up in Showers, and look how little health Neon has.
It's going to be 55 HP to work with for JMO in the meantime. Last pass, taking a little bit of damage. In the meantime, wasn't expecting someone else to be in the back, and Kama is going to connect that kill towards the end. It was a perfect scenario for Akrew to make that double digits for them down. It's a 10-6, where if they weren't playing together in Showers, it seems like this Jet had everything to get the last one, even get the defuse going on. But again, time was running out. The opportunities were fading away. And with that, Akrew are getting ahead more and more. It's not the Pioneers that we saw in the last match.
No, but I mean, all of the teams here in semis 2-0'd their opponents. These are all strong teams, so it might not be the Pioneers that we saw in the, top 8, but Akrew has been doing a fantastic job in this game. And to start this round off, we see yours, and it's going to be Hunter's Fury over in B. Critical going to be falling off of that, and Neon's able to just push onto site, but it's not going to be safely. Weeded's already there in and around the corner, but going to be finally taken out with that Trailblazer. That's going to be slowing things down just a little bit, though, but not enough. Akrew able to be finding any member from Pioneers pushing out onto site, and now they're only one away from match point.
For the first time, I believe, we see one of the teams having a dominant side where Akrew is just winning more and more rounds. Is going to force the set of Pioneers into a timeout to figure out what can be done to make a comeback happen. And of course, it is definitely possible, but the opportunities are fading away. Akrew, they played this map non-stop yesterday on that group stage that we can see. But they're still on top, even if they're making a couple mistakes. The information game for me, it is giving everything that we could ask. Even when they were defending, now that they are attacking, they're making such a crucial difference into getting that first pick and then rushing mostly into the A side when there's not much time remaining, and pushing for everything that you could expect from this team who won already the Winter Champs.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like at this point, too, both teams have been playing really well. We can even just see this off of the replay. Both of the teams having fantastic clutches, fantastic kills. It's just been Akrew at this point, just, outpacing.
The momentum, I feel like it plays so much into this map compared to maybe other maps as well. And we see it happening. I mean, that is 5 rounds in a row going for the side of Akrew. Nothing is connecting the way that Pioneers is wishing to connect. And now, after the timeout, they have it sober. Looking forward to change things around and deciding that the Viper's bid into B might be working out, and that allows them to 3-stack A site and even playing very, very aggressive. I mean, look at that. The Astra is trying to get something going. The trade is going to be there immediately, shutting down any numbers advantage in that potential.
And at that point, that little effort over in Showers to try and, get a little bit of momentum, not going to work out. And just going to be putting these teams over on even footing as they're going to sit back for a second and reflect on where the next pick can be. But it looks like for Pioneers, they might just be staying true on site, especially with the Viper's Pit over on B. They're going to be forcing Akrew to be pushing right up into them.
Absolutely. The defense is going to be expecting that push to come towards A because of that Viper's Pit. And that means the two duelists are going to be playing pretty close together, waiting for any opportunity to even use the op draft and guarantee the trade to come for Steve.
There it is. Cosmic Divide. As the push
30
comes
seconds left.
out onto site, Thief hit it on the other side of the wall and has an angle as well. Can just toss some paint shells underneath, try and force somebody out, but the spike is going to be planted nonetheless. A difficult one to be pushing through, but Thief's not scared. Gonna push through and finding two. Neon tries to get away, but to no avail. This is able to take the site, finding themselves on the back foot so quickly. Only Pancakes with 20 health in hand to try and push back out, but shot down. No chance of pushing back through, and Pioneers finally taking another point.
20 HP turning out to be impossible then for this side of Pioneers, or for the side of Akrew actually, to make anything work out. And Pioneers finally changing things around, making it work out. I feel like the Viper's Pit plays such a crucial role into denying control for that side, knowing that no one was going to dare to push. And sometimes we see the aggression inside of a Viper's Pit. We see the kills coming in, but this time around, it felt like going towards A was a better decision to make, and it definitely cost Akrew one of those rounds and denying even that match point that they've been trying to get.
I mean, if they can just keep doing that over and over, just keep putting a crew type position, you know, it's only 4 rounds to be tying this up. We've seen teams make bigger comebacks than that. So to see how these next couple of rounds play out, and it looks like it's going to be an aggressive push over towards A, but there's a Viper's Pit. There is some paint shells and a showstopper. Nobody's going to be ship a little too far into that, though, so it's not going to be to any avail. Thief does at least get a kill out right before being taken out, but that was just enough space for Akrew to be able to start pushing out onto site.
The 4v4 world planned was trying to go down, but yet there it is, the operator Jamon denying that possibility. Critical, also being able to connect another kill. It can be very, very good for this team on the defense. And once again, Akrew, only one bomber remaining, only one opportunity for Kanpeki to get anything done. And that means getting this fight, that means getting the duels one by one. And of course, it will be denied by this Pioneers team, making it into another round, getting closer and closer to that 11 score from the enemy.
Yeah, Akrew is not allowed to be taking this one down for free, that's for sure. And a couple of rounds lost in a row, that's going to be putting on Akrew on a bit of a broken by now. Sheriffs, there is a judge. A judge can be very, very dangerous on this map, that's for sure. And only one real rifle, so it's definitely looking more and more possible by the round, that's for sure. But only time will tell with this one. If Pioneers can't be grabbing this when Akrew is on such a broken buy, it's going to be a tough one for them to come back from. But Akrew, with their broken buy, looking to try and be putting this towards B, but already one's going to be going down.
I'm going to see the Pioneers we have to give a lot of credit to Thief for winning or even opening the last couple of rounds. That has given them a little bit of momentum to work with. But the question for Pioneers is, can they do it again? Can this race rotate in time to the B side where the attacking team is approaching and get the opening pick that they've been waiting for? They already have a little bit of the advantage, but that is not enough, as the attacking team, everyone pushing from long.
The wall falls. They can start pushing out just a little bit, but already underneath Hookah and over in Elbow, these angles are held. It is good for 2 more kills, and Shock Dart is going to do the rest. Critical, being able to use a utility and gun to get the kill, and it's only 2 now for Pioneers to try and even up this score line on their map pick.
Not even the raise was going to be needed there, because Weeded was there with the Viper, able to get those kills, able to deny the opportunity for the attacking team of Akrew to take control of the side. And it's been now 3 rounds in a row where Akrew have been fighting to get to match point and have been denied every single time. If they're able to play a little bit faster into one of the sides, they have the Viper's Pit to use. They have that opportunity to at least deny a little bit of visibility from the enemy.
Definitely. Starting on with this one, no line of sight for JMO. Being forced to back up with that op, as there's a little bit of presence over in A short, but it was just a little bit of a tease. just trying to get a little bit of information as a slow walk goes up towards B site.
When looking one side and the other at the other side, making sure that no one's going to come by surprise and take one down. The trade should be there if needed to. But look at how close both of them are playing together for that long. And it seems like for the defense, even though they still have the numbers into that side, they're not expecting. They don't have enough information to know when exactly to rotate. It seems like for them, it should be happening now.
Spike down with 45 seconds left. We did in the corner. There's a snake bite in retaliation to try and clear him out, but up on the box, we'll be able to take that angle. And now, knowing that there is a battle outside of Puka, Thief can just go through the teleporter, but it's not going to be to any avail. All of a sudden, it's a 3v1 situation. It's only JMO back of sight. 20 seconds left, but is able to find two of them, and now it's just a 1v1. Not looking so healthy. But at the same time, only has 12 seconds and only one more body to be taken down. His time is starting to expire here.
It is going to be a 1v1. The spike is going to be planted. Pioneers, dead for Jamon. Does he have a lot of health to work with? And with that, the Astra will be denying any crazy possibilities for this set of Pioneers, pushing them finally to match point. It took them a long time. It took them a couple save rounds to make it work. Now, it is only one more to go, and even a couple ultimates like I mentioned early, even having the Viper's Pit for the post plant and forcing the enemy team into the post plant scenario with a Viper's Pit can be so beneficial for the set of Akrew that this might be the last round for them.
Yeah, but Akrew is actually going to be the one calling this time out. Make sure, can secure this round. Not let Pioneers get anything else, because only 3 points away. Things can definitely be tossed up, but if we're starting to look at a map too, we'd be looking over at Haven, and Haven is Akrew's pick. This map, Iron, was actually Pioneer's pick, so losing this right out of the gate for Pioneers is definitely a bit of a blow.
Absolutely, and it's gotta be a crazy change for Pioneers if they want to make this comeback happen. It can be tough. There's a lot of things to take into account, including, of course, the economy that we talked about every single time. Those rifles do amazing things for Pioneers, but it's been a very slow start for them, and especially for Thief, who the last match was absolutely popping off in this rain-up, and now that he's taking the race, it is not looking as good as you would want it for Pioneers. Has been getting some openings, but nonetheless, it's not really feeling this map.
Not quite yet, but it will be an attempt to be locking down B-side as the Viper's Pit goes down. JMO looking to try and make sure no momentum's gained over in Showers. Plops the Blade Storm. Forces it back up just a little bit. The one way, someone pushes up a little too far, still has the angle to try and push into that.
Situation can get tough here. Still 5v5 though. A lot of opportunities. Looking towards Showers. Looking at everyone slowly pushing together. Akrew doesn't want to make any mistakes. They want this round to be the last one. They don't want to give any rifles for the side of Pioneers. And that means the information game is going to come online. But there's only 50 seconds remaining. And the attackers are going to have to move from Showers.
They do. And they're slowly run out of time. They have to get grouped. They have to get coordinated for a push out onto site. There's only 2 members, only 2 bodies on A. And as the spike slowly rotates over there, it looks like this is where this battle is going to end. And if they can overpower this up right outside of Showers, could be everything. And as JMO pops around with the Blade Storm, it's going to be enough Seekers to catch out Critical. But it's going to be a rundown as the spike gets planted. In with that Cosmic Divide. Critical, fantastic spray down, but is unable to quite get it done. And it's only a couple left alive for Pioneers as they try and hold on. One situation. He's done some fantastic stuff, but it's not going to be enough this time around. Akrew taking it down.
Especially with a Jet in Arena is something that no one else and no other composition can bring to the table. And that leer that we've seen, those leers actually that we've seen from Thief before, especially on this map, on the last match, were absolutely insane. It denied so much visibility from the enemy, allowed them to get some trades going on, some picks early going on. So this is going to be your second map between Pioneers and this side of Akrew. The question is, can Pioneers bring it back?
Well, so far, it's going to be a really slow pistol round to start things off. Pioneers have been, pioneering, full pun intended, these pistol rounds. They've taken down the pistol rounds today, but a slow start this time around as Akrew's trying to be, taking their best guesses. And it looks like finally, after being spread out, they're going to be, oh, no, they all gather up outside of A, but one's going to lurk. The Cypher is going to be staying behind, but the rest of the team is going to go back out towards mid. Weed's already poked up through garage, but it's going to be taken down, and that pick is all that's needed for Akrew to make the mad dash back over to the favorite spike side of the day, A.
30 seconds
We'll see
left.
if it's going to continue being the favorite for both of the teams. For Pioneers, we already know is absolutely a favorite for Akrew. Might be changing things around here. Neon does get taken down. The picks start to come up, and it's a 4v2. Barely any HP though to work with. He only used over remaining. Plays in Haven, has to run away. 50 HP to work with it. Of course, the kill is going to connect right away. Will be taken down critical. And the second time today now that we see Pioneers not getting away with the pistol round the way that they wanted to.
No, it's Akrew that's going to be the thorn in their side and not allowing them to get that. And an early leg up on the competition, Pioneers being able to take such great momentum after taking down those rounds. But now, have to, stop, think about this for a second. And, we're going to see the Sheriffs on the board for majority of the team. Sheriffs are dangerous, but it's still going to be a little difficult on a site like this with a lot of angles where a Spectre can really start to shine.
And I want to see how bright they can shine. That is a question that I want to have answered. And it's going to take a couple rounds for it. But Akrew trying to make this a transition round. Having those Spectres as well. And from the distance even is going to connect. Trying to make sure that no one else is going to be sewer. Does locate one of the players even behind the drone. And it's not going to be enough there.
Wow, despite the fact that it's Spectres in hand, Pioneers doing a great job of trying to keep this as close as possible to a 2v1 situation. JC Stanny, only 30 HP, only a classic in hand. It'd be absolutely the tallest ask. And Pancakes just has to be running and gunning with that Spectre to take it down. But 3 members off of the board for Akrew. That's a little mini win in itself.
Then for the set of Akrew, hoping to get something, and it is not the first time that we see them forcing a couple weapons on this one. So maybe one of the Phantoms, maybe 2 of the Phantoms we're about to find out, because they want to deny any potential, and 1 rifle can make a massive difference into those bonus round. As Pioneers are finally able to buy, but still looking a little uncomfortable.
Oh, definitely, but I mean, these players are going to have to be played uncomfortable here, especially as it looks like it's going to be a judge rushing up through mid. That's about as uncomfortable as it can get, especially with these angles. A Trailblazer trying to be clearing out the back of sight, but at this point, the angles are being held, and any attempt of Akrew pushing up into this nebula is not going well. Spike is also down, so tall ask is just as a spray with only 2 left up for Akrew.
The Spike in the worst positioning ever into his side, where the defense has all control of it, but the kills coming in. He actually able to get a couple to start this, but still Astra on the B side for the defense, watching right what he was, knew exactly where this was going to be located, and with that calm is going to get 1 pick. Is going to be a 1v1 scenario. A lot of HP to work with, still 93 on that rotation towards C. Well, Astra tries to figure out exactly where the Cypher is going to be.
30 seconds left.
I mean, at this point, too, JC Stanny has the spike down. But you also have to just be aware at this point, the Cypher's going to come from somewhere. You just get the kill on you to be securing this round. And this long flank, there's only 10 seconds to work with. You need to find JC Stanny
10 seconds
fast.
left.
But popping around the corner could quite do that.
Retrieved the spike.
I don't think it's enough time. Not gonna have enough. Peeking around to a safe angle. At this point, It's a defender win. It was so close for Calm, but just
Yeah.
not aware of the time.
They were so close too. They almost took the other out. They only went outside of that B side, but a little unfortunate for this Cyber, and is just running out of time and obviously prioritizing her life over anything else, knowing that the time was running out. You wanted to stay alive, and well, at least being able to do so. You know, on the good side for the side of Akrew, we can see that the Cyber is 4-0, and hey, we don't see that too often, right?
You're not too wrong about that one. But we get into this round, kind of feeling it up. There's a little bit of a push up through A long. Pioneer's getting a little antsy with it, and Thief not gonna be backing down, at least not yet. Trying to see if that owl drone is headed his way, and with confirmation that it's not, gonna go back to this angle, see if anybody's gonna come challenge that.
And the challenge that this attacking team wants to put into that A side should be pretty interesting. Trying to play towards that lobby, trying to play towards that long, and that information that seems like it's not too much, but should be enough as the rotations for the defense would be coming through. Watching short, and the Sova, of course, from the heaven position, making sure that no one's playing a little too aggressive.
You're saying making sure no one's playing too aggressive, but at this point now, a mad dash out onto site is just going to get things started, and Calm being able to push up through mid and go for the neural theft, get the little bit of information, call out the couple that are lurking down a short, and put the crew ahead going into this. Is there's only one left on the site, but being forced to back up. Calm's able to grab that right on the flank, and now Spike going down with only 10 seconds left on the clock. It's gonna have to be Pioneers to slowly push back up, but at this point, any flank, any angles held, and Jimao stuck in a corner.
And Jimao, like you said, stuck in a corner. That was exactly what I was about to say. There's nowhere to run. Caught up right in the middle of the enemy team, and with that, we're gonna have Akrew actually getting away with another round, forcing Pioneers into a save one. And we've seen this quite often. There's still an opportunity for a really good comeback here for Pioneers, but the times where they've been shining the most is when they're able to match the score of the enemy very, very early on. So Pioneers is a task that they have at hand, and I want to see your opportunities to be able to deliver just that.
Going into this one, Crew with the lead. Gonna just kind of poke around and see if Pioneers are gonna push up a little too far, but with no information, just gonna spread out. Look for these picks to play safely going into this. See if anybody push up too far, but look at this. Pioneers. There's gonna be 4 of them over on A and pushing up so far up of that A long, and C is almost open.
Pretty much open. I mean, the attackers are going to go right in, even in the risky updraft that we see, and even the tailwind. No one is there to punish this yet. So there's going to be a trade. It's a 4v4 nonetheless. It's a post-plant scenario on the C side. We haven't seen this side too often, but it's very nice to see it once in a while. And Neon, they're very good angle, even though at the same time it can become predictable for a Jet, like from himself.
I mean, being able to just get your teammate to back you up in those corners to keep getting the rest of the kills, doesn't matter if it's predictable at that point. There's too many angles to look at, and that is going to be Pioneer's downfall. All of them in that corner, taken down one by one, and Akrew now have a 3 lead over Pioneers in map 2.
For Pioneers, it can continue to get bad to worse, but at least for that one, there is not a lot of economy to work with, so that means that this one is going to be back with the rifles, back with Thief. I'm continuing to look at make a comeback at any point, having that Empress, hoping to play a little bit more aggressive, as we know this player for.
Going into this one, JMO, the Blade Storm has been popped and pushed so aggressively up, and with footsteps, knows that somebody is around, gonna be able to grab 1 kill right out of the gate and dash out of harm's way. And Calm is not going to be faring too well either. You can't loop around. Critical's going to be right there for you. There is going to be a Cosmic Divide to go down on site, but already Pioneers have control of the site. That ult is essentially going to be wasted over there. And now Akrew, 3 alive to be pushing against the very stacked Pioneers. They have full ults on the board. They have full control of the map. This is like Akrew even trying to push into C. It's a little bit of a death trap.
If JC's Tanny does get taken down, that could have been all the C side free for this attacking team of Akrew, but they didn't react in time, and that means that once again they're going to be playing for long, but their rotations for the defense will be coming in as well. Even if they're not right on side, they're
30
ready to go
seconds left.
inside after getting a single pick. That is exactly what the Pioneers is trying to do. They haven't been taken down though, so that is a good indication for them.
Neon going for the power angle, pushing through as finally the spike is going to be going down. Becky shot in the back though.
Last player standing.
More of it all ask, and all of a sudden we won against the world.
Be faster.
Neon popping around though for a nice
Ooh.
little 2K. Doing what he can. Get it going down, but finally dashes attempted to safety, but instead to death as Pioneers take their second point.
The dash, I could have worked. It tried to get even another one, but that did more than enough. And it is nice to see Pioneers shining once they have those ultimates. And even because of that, we're going to be seeing a timeout coming in for the side of Akrew. So they are still winning, right? They're still in a 4-2. They're still winning those rounds. They still have the advantage. But because it's so early still, the economy is not really benefiting them. So that means that every single round, they have to take a couple risks. They know that they can get taken down early. And for Akrew, that is everything. It can turn from bad to worse so fast. The way the Pioneers started that round with the ultimates, with the Blade Storm more than anything, shining a little bit more is a good indication that they are finding their way in. Even with how often they like to play into the A site, they didn't even show any hesitation to go towards C. So it is those tiny changes that can benefit and allow Pioneers to make a comeback.
Yeah, definitely. But it is still only two within the board. You know, there's a lot of room, a lot of rounds still to start trying to get a little bit of momentum back to tie up this scores. And especially with the ultimates that Pioneers have on the board, especially I'm looking at the Cosmic Divide. I'm looking at the Hunter's Fury going into that. Those are some huge ultimates to have on the board.
Absolutely. And the one that I look forward to the most is the Cosmic Divide. I feel like the last round we saw the Cosmic Divide coming in too early to the point where there was no benefit even. It went away in a way that none of the teams was benefited or affected by it. But trying to get some information towards A side, the Hunter's Free is going to allow that to happen. In the meantime, is going to be a safe push happening pretty quickly.
Through the Cyber Cage, Vita tries to have that angle, but Neon with the Blade Storm able to just updraft over top of it. They spray down. Nonetheless, on Steve is going to have everything going wrong for Pioneers, and for that timeout worked so well for them, only losing one to be securing the round.
Akrew, of course, can do it. They've done it before. They did it on the last map. They were able to get ahead early on, and even though it was looking very close, it was always Akrew getting that first round, taking that first advantage to the point where Pioneers couldn't ever come back, couldn't ever get that momentum, like you said. So one more to go to guarantee a little bit of that confidence going into the second half, but a lot more, of course, that is going to be needed for Pioneers, and I continue to expect a lot of great things for this Jet that has been getting some opening picks, and of course for Steve on this Reyna has been able to do just that. As I say that though, the duelists that are shining the most is gonna be Neon on the Jet for the side of Akrew once again.
Yeah, that was a fantastic little pop around. Grab the kill. And Critical trying to be pushing up, hearing the gunshots over in mid. Gonna be poking up a little too far. And Keki gonna be taking advantage. Not just taking one, but taking one out of the game. And Akrew now, fantastic lead into this round. With only 2 left for Pioneers to try and defend off these attackers. And with that, Akrew just showing why this was their map pick. But we did also showing why, you know, top of the leaderboards last time around. A fantastic little shot, but you know, sheriff in hand, that's all it's going to be. Pop around. Akrew is going to be able to take this down.
The 6-2 where Pioneers are getting behind the more that we see them, and in a round that it is happening faster. Towards the beginning, we saw a lot of those slower rounds that relied so much on information. But of course, when you are attacking in a map like Haven, the numbers advantage into a side is going to be defined by what the attackers can do more than anything, rushing into side, forcing a post-spawn scenario for the defense where they can't even get there in time, and there's a limited amount of angles where they can come in from and can be predicted. So for Akrew, they have that in their favor, and even trying to guarantee those picks. Once again, very early on, as they try to settle down, they try to get that information, they get that the spike back from the floor, they're able to pick it up and jump into, I wonder what side is going to be now, because A is completely surrounded. Look at this Cypher playing so aggressive, immediately backing up.
Tried to be a little cheeky with it, but the information is then given away. Gonna go and not quite join the rest of the team. Gonna go lurk somewhere else as the rest of the team looks towards C. Look how dangerous that angle was, but instead, Neon goes ahead and checks that, takes him out, and at that point, there's only gonna be one left on this site, and a spray through the nebula is gonna be taking Thief down. That is going to be the Neon difference coming out on top as this site gets controlled. This spike goes down. Only 2 left for Pioneers, and look how little HP Critical has at this point.
Not a lot to work with if you're on the side of Pioneers. Only 2 members remaining and not a lot of HP, like I mentioned, for this Sova to work with. And even that utility sometimes doesn't seem to be enough when there's only 1 duelist left. And with that, is going to be this team of Pioneers playing on B, trying to get maybe some picks before that spike is going to explode, before we jump into the next round. It should be easily going for the set of Akrew.
Critical at least able to grab 1 for going out, but Kanveki not gonna let Critical get away with a gun. And with that round being lost, Akrew now going positive for the half. Pioneers, even winning these back-to-back, gonna be at a little bit of a loss before the half.
How close can it be, though, for Pioneers when the opportunities are fading away? Of course, you're hoping for 7-5, but that means that you're going to pull off something absolutely insane with those Spectres, and it wouldn't be the first time that we see it, but it's still definitely very, very hard to make happen, especially in those long angles where you're just hoping to play close. Maybe have the crosshair as close as possible as you can to the enemy's head, and just connect them one by one, stealing a couple of those rifles. That is really the best opportunity for Pioneers here, as they're all holding that A side.
Ooh, the cosmic divide comes down and the push comes out. There's already so many defensive bodies out on site, though, and with that, it is going to be an absolute slaughter. Thief coming out on top with 3 kills in holding this site, and that was a fantastic round for Pioneers.
What an amazing decision making for the side of Pioneers as well. They were on a save round, they only had those Spectres to work with, and they decide 4 of them were going to play into that A side. And of course, it is very, very rare and very unlikely that we see attackers planting into that B side, so it's gotta be either A or it's gotta be either C. So they only kept the Astra at C. We didn't even have to worry too much about the kills because it was all happening on the other side. And of course, the off-grab and the positionings that you're able to get with a jet were benefiting the team way more, guaranteeing that round for Pioneers.
Ooh, an attempted push out onto site with the knives, unable to quite connect though, and that's gonna hold way for Pioneers to just try and hold these angles. Gonna be Hunter's Fury coming out to make this even more of a difficult push as things are even up 3v3 already. 3 hold up, but look at Calm being able to push all the way through mid. Not watching, but it's only going to be good for 1. Putting this back into even footing as the spike starts to go down. It's going to be Thief and the Empress, though, popping around the corner to get the last 2 in the round. And Pioneers, 2 in a row now. Still, it will be negative on the half, but if they can get it to 5-7, it's definitely a lot better than what it's been looking like.
Last round
Absolutely,
in the
and
half.
it all goes back to the duelists. I mean, they were the last members alive for that round. They were able to defuse a spike, and Thea was able to not only use the Empress, but get 3 kills. That is an absolute dream for this team of Pioneers as they continue to try to take the advantage of round after round. And that means that for this side of Akrew on the attacking side, this is going to be the last round for them, which means that I don't think we're going to see those fast rushing into sites that we've seen before, but a little bit more of that information that was working out for them before.
I mean, I definitely hope that they're not going to be pushing down A along with an AWP being held there, but it looks like Akrew wants to try and play their slow game themselves. Neon off in hand, looking for a little bit of information, but Neon taken down. JMO going to be popping around short to take the opening pick in the round. Pioneers doing a good job of making sure Akrew's not going to gain any ground.
And pushing towards Garage, I feel like we haven't seen this happening too often, but it is rounds like this one where you gotta bring surprises. We did on the Cypher, gets spotted, takes a little bit of damage, is running away, but seems like they're already been located, able to get combo.
Managing to take 2 down. The Hunter's Fury in way. Did a fantastic job there. All of a sudden, 3 for Pioneers. To be able to push the last 2 from Akrew back. There's only 30 seconds left in the round, though, and they're going to be doing a mad dash. Nobody over on A.
One enemy remaining.
But at this point, it's going to be a 1v3 as Pancakes gets caught out trying to make it back over to site. And at this point, it was being able to make up some ground. The updraft to get some damage. It's not going to be quick enough for a kill, but at this point, it's going to be an impossible situation. And Pioneers will grab their 5th round, bringing it decently close going into the swap.
Can Pioneers win another pistol round, though? Because that is going to guarantee how close they're going to get on the second half. And if they can make it to a 7-7, of course, Pioneers is absolutely dreaming for that. And I feel like Steve has come online compared to what we saw on the last match, and even early on. It's a player that on this arena has been feeling a little bit more consistent on this past 3 rounds that we're going for the set of Pioneers, and that is when you see how much a team can rely on duelists and how much value it brings to someone who's in a disadvantage, where you end up on a 7-5, and suddenly it looks so much more doable for the Pioneers.
Right there.
Yeah, now that they're on the attacking end as well, there's 3 sites that Akrew is going to have to try and defend against, a Pioneer squad that has 2 duelists to their name. So if this is the chance for Pioneers to start taking a lead, it is now. And Pioneers taking it slow, but Akrew is going to be getting actually pretty aggressive here over on the defensive. 3 of them pushing up. It's not going to be to any secret, though. There was a Cypher cam completed hiding back in spawn to try and take that initiation, try and take that fight. And, at least one traded out is going to be fantastic, as every fight elsewhere also going in Pioneer's favor.
That looks so smooth for the set of Pioneers, just getting those headshots. And, I mean, why not even getting the shock bolt to connect right onto the last Aster remaining for the set of Akrew. Pioneers back to winning their pistol rounds, back to getting their momentum that they lost for a little bit. Going to those Spectres, going into those heavy shields to get a little bit more going on here. And it is absolutely possible that we see them changing what we saw on the side of Akrew before. It was Akrew getting round after round and denying any possibility, but now Pioneers have the capability to do that.
Definitely. I love what I saw from my crew with 3 shorties on the board. These tight little angles. Calm already getting cozy in that one. It looks like crew, though, I'm just going to be waiting for somebody to push up. Try and steal one of the guns, but I don't think Pioneers is quite going to fall for this.
Absolutely. I mean, you can expect the shorties to be coming in. Even the classics can turn into a nightmare very, very quickly. So a B plant going to be playing for that 4 year. It's going to be playing for that window. And it can work really, really well, even with those lineups. That can be enough.
Point. Spike goes down. But a defuse coming out does get it halfway. Someone else goes to pick it up. Jamo, though, managing to grab a Spectre. Not only that, being able to follow it up. Round's going closer than it had to. And at this point, Pioneers will take the round down. And there it is. Tied game.
7-7 that we see it right now in Pioneers. Looking forward to get another one going here. In a way that I like the way that they play that. Sure, they lost. The defense was able to get half of that defuse, but then it got denied just by everyone getting closer. And of course, it can be risky when the enemy team is playing with those shorties and you know you can get taken down immediately. But those Spectres, nonetheless, are the ones shining. Left 4 members alive for the set of Pioneers. That means that those Spectres are still online.
Yeah, but I mean, the angles that this map has, Spectres being online, that's still a dangerous one. Nebula going to be closing on that, going to be blocking off that line of sight, but adding light through will get that information. Allows the team to start capitalizing off of that, but Thief manages to sneak up, grabbing 2 with the Spectre, and being able to put sight in control of Pioneers at this point. Only 2 left, and there's going to be a Nebula blocking down any way back into sight.
A lot of those devours that we've been seeing from this Reina, from Thief, who has been shining more than we saw before. And of course, the kills are going to connect. The Pancakes left, able to get 1 pick. Still a 2v1, still pretty hard knowing how difficult the positionings can be. And there it is, critical with a 3k on that round, putting the side of Pioneers finally on the lead.
I mean, I'm not too surprised that this is where the lead's going to start coming out, you know? You were talking earlier about the double duelists and just the Thief difference over on Reina. And that's something they can actually start to capitalize off of here. So it's definitely something that's more to their strength now that the sides have swapped. So this isn't something that I'm necessarily too surprised about. It's just going to be about how Akrew answers here. And it's going to be potentially not this round, as it's going to be all up on Sheriffs.
The Sheriffs that have gotten some very nice thrifty rounds for some teams, even today. But this time around, at least immediately is going to get denied because Steve is watching that window, making sure that no one's going to go on a crazy flank like we've seen both of the teams doing. With that, 2 picks going in for Star Pioneers. They have the momentum going. They have the confidence as well. Steve is going to wait for someone to push towards Garage, trying to get this pick as well.
Thief just waiting outside of Garage. And there's going to be a body on the other side. And Pecky waiting for someone to start pushing up that way. It's like a little bit of a standoff as the rest of the team starts to slowly see who is over on C. And with the information, wait, there's nobody there. It's going to be good. But look at that. Ken Pecky finally is like, you know, I'm going to be the first to strike. Pops around the corner with that Sheriff. And that is a gun in the hands of Akrew there. And this is a 3v4 situation. There is a gun difference from Pioneers, but that helps even the score just this little bit.
Thief could have made that work if, of course, this player didn't have to look that someone was going to come in the flank. It could have really worked out even with the Cypher utility. I'm thinking of even using the trap wire to give a little more confidence of this right now, but it's not longer going to be the case. If that, the spike is going to be planted for long, so everyone is playing all the way back. Receiving a trap wire on the C side, so the opportunities for Akrew on the defensive side are fading away. Neon gets taken down. The last one is going to be Kentucky, who's running for his life with 15 HP left.
Got the 1 kill, got out of there, got a gun, pops around for a second. I thought that was gonna get punished there for a second, but Kentucky completely in control. And I mean, it's a round loss, but any sort of damage that you can do as well as getting away with the gun is, I mean, it definitely could be worse, but at this point, look at how many rounds Pioneers have gotten on the board, and that's kind of turning for the worse.
2 rounds in a row after the pistol and the Spectre round, going for the set of Pioneers, and I love the way that they played. It was so default, but it was so effective for Pioneers into the C side, just playing for long, knowing that the trapwire was going to deny any flank to happening, giving them the confidence that they needed. Because of that, they're looking forward to do it again.
Definitely, but this time around, Pioneers gonna be slowly pushing up, but trying to get some control. You see, already in garage, but Calm popping around the corner is gonna get the kill, and not only that, get the neural theft. So Pioneers, their plan is out. At this point, Akrew can start capitalizing off of that. They already have the numbers advantage too, and Pioneers, they've been taking a bunch of rounds in a row, but this round's already not looking the greatest for them.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, and it's just going from bad to worse. A lot of other picks that will be coming through. Critical, the last one remaining, getting someone through the smoke, but gets stunned. And that is going to be finally shutting down the momentum for the set of Pioneers. And Akrew was absolutely desperate to do that, getting away with it. And it was so well played. I mean, we saw the neutral tap coming in after getting single opening pick. And that usually can be an indication that a team can rotate. I thought that the Pioneers were going to rotate from C to A because of that neutral tap, but they decided to stay there, and that just didn't really work out at all. As Cypher was speaking, making sure that they were still in that long positioning.
Ooh, what could work out though is a little bit of a blade storm and a mad dash over to short. Neon's holding the angle, but at this point, these players are being able to just run through the missed shot, the mad dash. Becky, though, is going to follow up, and as Pioneers try and rotate out of that, Ammo goes down. A waste of the Blade Storm going into this round. Thief breaks the trap, pushing out onto this site. Is only going to be good for 1 kill, though, and Akrew on an absolute tear through this round to even up the score.
99 and Akrew definitely upset about losing a couple rounds early on, especially in the second half, and ready to change things around. That means an operator is going to come online and is going to continue being online, as Neon, on top of that, is going to have the Blade Storm. And we've seen some amazing things from this player, and I think it's able to shine a little bit more when you're on the defensive side, when you know that it is pretty common for the Jet to either play A or C long, guaranteeing some early picks. And you look at the aggression immediately, making sure that no one's going to be short. The operator, of course, is going to connect perfectly, or even a potential flank. That can be very, very much expected for the Astra on the set of Pioneers.
Man, Neon missed last round over on A long, but that's it. No more missing. And with that pick over in A short, Akrew already in a good momentum, and she not so far with the op. Gonna be able to take out JC standing before critical, puts an end to that madness. The damage already being done. Pioneers with 3 left and a minute on the clock, and at this point, there's Akrew everywhere on the map. Calm's holding down in garage. Look at the push up through C. Where can Pioneers go at this point?
Oh, come really close, being able to get 2 really good way there to not even get the trade, but deny any possibility for these attackers pushing in. And the last one, once again, gets denied. Akrew gets another round, double digits for this team. Already won the last map. Finally able to get back in the lead on this second map, and having all the potential to make this last couple rounds the last ones for their semifinals.
Yeah, I know we talked a lot about, 2 duelists over on attack, about how that could be a big difference maker, but I feel like we completely missed the part of, a Jet with an op on defense. And Neon's been doing a fantastic job of that. That was such a fantastic shot in A short, and pushing up even further and play that so aggressive was insane. But even though it's going to be A over to this time, Pioneer's not going to shy away from that, and a missed shot from Neon is going to allow them to start pushing over through long. But Pancakes coming alive in that moment in the spray down, taking down 3 members of Pioneers. This is going to put it in just 1 left alive. Critical with the Marshall in hand. Second short's not going to be able to do it. And what a round for Pancakes to come alive.
What a round, and giving so much more than they could ask for the set of Akrew, and from this Silva delivered and over delivered even for what they were expecting from this initiator, now putting Akrew in such a good positioning. This is going to be the last round where Pioneers are able to buy their rifles. So if Akrew gets away with this, they're at match point. The enemy team doesn't have anything to work with. Their attacking side is less likely to work. And they can get with the second map. Gotta see what Pioneers are able to do this time around.
At this point, Pioneers just looking to put a bit of pressure on. They know that there's someone around. The shots won't quite connect, but the Owl Drone is going to push Calm out of that position. And, you know, get the trip broken. That's definitely a little bit of a positive. Thief is going to be caught out and taking a lot of heavy damage going into that. And with no ground gained over in Garage, Pioneer's just going to back up just a little bit.
They know how risky it is for one of them alone to get taken down and make it more than one. So playing it carefully, even towards the beginning, they decide that A is going to be the place to go. But just looking at the map, it can get so stressful into what they can do, because Akrew slowly realizing that it's very quiet on every single other side. And for the side of Pioneers, they might be pushing there. Everyone getting there together. 3 members of the defense ready to go.
One of those members, though, is Neon, and Up in Heaven is going to be able to spray through the Cloudburst to find a kill. Hunter's Fury to try and make a little bit of space out on site, and is going to be getting a kill. But a lot of damage has already been done. There's only 10 seconds left in this round for Pioneers to try and make a move, and Neon being able to grab a kill as the push comes out onto site might just be enough to start holding them back. And now, Akrew find themselves on match point.
Not even a timeout can save Pioneers from this one. Akrew is looking so strong, and it was such a crucial round for Pioneers to be able to win, and they couldn't deliver the results. It's been 5 in a row going for this defensive team of Akrew. They already won the last map. It was the perfect opportunity for the comeback of Pioneers, as we saw on the beginning of the second half. But the momentum is lost. The economy is on the floor. It couldn't even be worse. They're going to force anything that the official for the set of Akrew to guarantee the opening. But even on the defensive side, changing things around, knowing that whatever they were doing before wasn't working, and looking to win and get this one to make it the last one.
And for that win, it looks like they want to be doing a mad dash out onto C. Life on the line. We're just going to go for it, but it's falling apart so quickly. All starting with a shorty through the Cosmic Divide, popping through. Neon's able to be finding a second shorty kill, and it's only 1 against the world now. We did popping around the corner is not going to be able to do quite enough, and with that, Akrew takes down their second map to take this series in a 2-0.